See if everyone can hear me. Hi, everybody. I'm going to check this. Oh, maybe my video is not going. Okay, hopefully that works. Let me see if everything's going. Hi, everybody. Hi, everybody. Crazy day, as you can imagine. 997 days. Is it 997 days since Richard vanished from the barracks there at Fort Bliss in El Paso, Texas? I hope I'm counting the days right because we have the vigil planned for 1,000 days. We'll keep it. We'll keep it. We'll make the announcement tomorrow. It's all set up, ready to go. Um, it's just been with these leaks, kind of crazy. Hmm. Okay. Okay. Here I am. All right. Let's make sure I can hear myself. Kind of crazy. Yep. There it goes. Okay. Kind of crazy. Okay, everybody, 997 days today since Richard vanished from the barracks there at Fort Bliss in El Paso, Texas. And we just want to know where everybody is that we pay taxes to, um, that we have commissioned, that we have elected, that we have appointed um, in this long standing. We are, I think, the oldest country right now. We are the oldest country because we still have the Constitution of the United States. We are the oldest country. Our government system has stayed strong, but it's crumbling now. And you can see in this case that it's not working. And I want to know, where are they? Where is the IG? Where is the AG? The Attorney General, the Inspector General, um, the DA? Where's the DA? Where is Representative Veronica Escobar? Where's Senator Cruz? Where are the generals? Where are the 44 bloated, very bloated? They only have, if if that many, 1.3 million service members right now. For 44 four-star generals, that's not including the very bloated flag officers. Flag officers are any that have stars, okay? Any that have stars. And they have all this leadership, and we have given them everything. We have given them good paychecks, good retirement packages. We've given them travel bonuses. We have given them legal immunity in many cases. I know there's a group of people trying to get some health care for their veterans. Um, our leaders don't have to worry about that. Uh, they the reason why they can't get health care or they can't get lawsuits for the damage done to their veterans is because the leadership, we have given them immunity. We have given them, protection. So we've given them everything, and they're totally top heavy, and they're not doing their job. Matter of fact, it's worse than that. They're committing crimes against humanity. They're committing unbelievable crimes against their very own service members. They are servicing foreign and domestic enemies with a foreign ideology. What do I mean by that? Well, it's not esprit de corps. It's not. The ideology is the opposite of esprit de corps. It's division. It's the opposite of the Medal of Honor ethos. It's protect your own self no matter what. Throw anybody else under the bus. Not let's have each other six. That's so they've betrayed not only their country, not only their oath to defend the Constitution, the land, and the people, but they've now have gone as far as serving foreign and domestic enemies that have a foreign ideology. And it's very clear when you have this kind of case and this kind of information, and they're silent about it. You absolutely know there is an underground government, there's an underground media, there's insider trading, there's what do they call it? The underground government. And I never knew how evil it was. I never knew how evil. I know yesterday I talked about it, that I'm totally aware that people, mankind, left to their own, can perpetrate the most awful crimes and do the most unbelievable evil. And so that's what I want to talk to you today about, is the unbelievable evil that they have done. And this is very wrong. So the name of this live stream is Very Wrongful Death. The very wrongful death, not only of Richard, but many other service members, our institution, our moral compasses, our values. This is a very wrongful death of so many things. It's like the road of suicide. Elder Fernandez's mother, I said many times, she deserves an honorary PhD because she hit it right, the nail right on the head, by saying they were training to suicide. They were training to suicide. And I think she deserves that honorary PhD. Let's look at the leaks that are coming in. We have received over the last week and a half, papers upon papers upon papers that I've printed out of leaks, and we are going through them. And let's see, it's, why am I going through them? Why is Rob going through them? Where is the CID? Where is the FBI? Where is Veronica Escobar, that is holding their feet to the fire, holding the Department of Justice's feet to the fire? You see, we paid money, I think it was like $500, to ask the Department of Justice to oversee the CID, the FBI, and all the agencies to make sure that they were doing their duty. Okay? Because there is a law that they can do that. And they denied us, which is also very interesting when it comes to making sure that a case is properly investigated after the mess of Vanessa Guillen, when the Army was exposed to be a totally criminal in that whole case. And what about Austin Hawk? And what about Enrique Roman Martinez? And what about Caleb Smither? And what about Elder Fernandez's training to suicide? Um, and and they denied us. The Department of Justice denied to oversee this. And Cover Up Veronica has, and Do Nothing Veronica. Who is she? She must be doing something. She must be doing something, but it's not caring for the service members that are in her district. It's not overseeing Fort Bliss. It's not overseeing the emergency intake center that has over 20,000 unaccounted for minors. Where is the crying at the fence? Where is the moral outrage? Where are the hearings, the congressional hearings, the subpoenas that she can issue? She has power over the Department of Justice. But see, the thing is she can do nothing because she did not reveal that she has a conflict of interest with her husband, who answers to the Department of Justice with his immigration judge status. So she's not going to hold the Department of Justice feet to the fire like she should, because she has a conflict of interest. So where are the media to hold her feet to the fire? Who are they working for? Because the leaks that we're getting is not just nothing. They have numbers. We received the CID and the FBI numbers for the notarized on the 22nd of July 2020, the day before Richard vanished. Or, there's a lot of stuff in these leaks that makes it that was the day he vanished. And I'm looking at my text messages from him. I'm trying to figure out that time period with everybody's phone calls and things like that. And we're getting information that they found his phone in Juarez, Mexico at kilometer 29 through these reports from the investigators. We're finding that the last known ping is in Juarez, Mexico. They didn't tell that to us. And so how many inquiries do we have to send and they're being ignored? They're being ignored. How many FOIAs do we have to put in? People say, oh, just put in a FOIA, put in a FOIA, put in a FOIA, put in a request, put in an inquiry, pay $500 and tell the Department of Justice they need to oversee this. Yeah, how many times do we have to do that? It's insane. It's insanity because they're continuing to ignore us. The absolute silence is deafening. Join this crowd. Join this group. Join this group. Join this. Talk to this media platform. And we do. And we are. But I'm telling you, it's insane because we're up to 1,000 days. And we're getting these major leaks. And we're having to do all of this. And it's just so frustrating because where is Veronica Escobar? Where is Congress? Where is the media? Where are our very highly paid, given every privileged, where are the privileged insider trading? And they do. They absolutely have insider knowledge because they know what bills are going to be passed and everything like that. What kind of taxes are going to be passed? What kind of What kind of light bulbs are coming up next? What kind of, they know it. And they're super privileged. And we're so kind, and they're taking advantage of our kindness, of our good nature as Americans, of our volunteer spirit as service members. They're taking advantage of that. And they've abused us badly. And this is abuse. Not doing their duty is abuse, and it's criminal. And so that's why I'm saying this is a very wrongful death case. Very wrongful death case. And we need a class action lawsuit because thank God for the Sutherland Springs verdict with Judge Javier Rodriguez settling that case by saying that the Air Force shooter who had a record of violence, who had a record of mental illness, and the Air Force, them being obligated to care for their airmen and to report about the situation with their airmen to the FBI database, right? So that would prevent this airman from buying a weapon. They didn't do it. The Air Force is sloppy, just like the Army. They didn't do it. And they put people in danger, just like they did with Richard, just like they did with Richard's family. And 26, believe I have the numbers right, 26 dead, 17 injured. And Judge Javier Rodriguez then, looks like I'm frozen. I'm having problems with my video. I think I need to. Let me try it again, y'all. So Javier Rodriguez, Judge Javier Rodriguez, did us a great favor when it comes to class action lawsuits. And at this point, and I've never been lawsuit happy. I wanted the Army to tell me to level with us. That's what Rob and I wanted. We wanted the Army to level with us. When you have 30 years of service, like my husband does, you are pro-Army. I've been pro-Army my whole life because my dad, because being born in it. We wanted them to level with us. We're not seeing the Army through rose-colored glasses. We know that there are problems. But they perpetrated such an unbelievable evil crime against us by keeping this all a secret, lying to us, and then using asymmetric warfare tactics. We have 1,000 days of proofs. Using military operations, withholding information, obstructing justice, covering up, colluding, conspiring with so many others. And it makes us look so bad in Mexico because absolutely Mexico knows that our Army is doing this to our own. Can you believe it? They know it. So let's look at the leaks. Okay, the first thing that I wanted to share with, and I put up on Facebook, why hasn't Representative Veronica Escobar, there's so many. People always say, well, who's they? That was a good question yesterday. Who's they? We've got all the names. We've got all the names, and we left off a lot yesterday because we didn't mention the Secretary of the Army, the Secretary of Defense. We didn't mention, we did, General Mealy and General Garrett and General McConville, and even the new generals over there at Fort Bliss. And there's so many. And we can name them. I know them so well because, Major General Clem Coward, I'm finding out that he lost confidence. He lost his 32nd ATCOM command. We'd like to know why. And they cover that up. We have a flag officer that we have given everything to, and we're not allowed to know why he lost confidence, why he fell short and lost his command, and that they covered up for him. Because it's very important when it comes to finding Richard and Richard Halliday's case, because he is the very flag officer that gave Richard the unjust Gomar, that absolutely put up a green flag that anyone, anywhere in the military could use Richard as a punching bag. Do whatever they wanted to this whistleblower. I think he was probably one of the first to take advantage of what Special Agent Tavita Nusa did to him, which was to illegally expose his whistleblower protective rights. Illegally expose him, which nullified his whistleblower protective rights. I mean, we're talking about unbelievable evils, numerous. So where are they? And where is the civilian part in this, right? The DA, the AG, the AUSAs, which are the attorneys that can all help us. The FBI and others. So these are the links. And if this is a sick joke, it's another unbelievable evil. July 29th. Look at the dates. The dates are very interesting because Richard went missing 22nd, 23rd, 24th, 23rd of July 2020. The phone ping would really help us, right? The 29th of July 2020. So this is before we even knew he was missing. Human remains were found in a shallow grave near the Donna Ana Range in New Mexico and were later identified as those of Private First Class Richard Halliday. These were partial remains in uniform. Now, I want someone to be able to confirm that to me. Rob and I want someone to be able to confirm that to me, because we have more information on that. It's not just that date and that area, because we're being told he was in uniform, and we're told those were partial. We're also told how those remains were found. Lots of sharp injury, lots of, you'll read it in the autopsy, blunt to the head, shot to the head, in the skeleton. So where our military has become so unbelievably evil for not sending us official statements after they have lied and lied and lied to us. And the silence is consent. The silence is saying yes. They have covered up, that they found our son who had been exposed as a whistleblower, put a target on his back, was given the green light to harass and intimidate and abuse him and physically abuse him by the Major General Clem Coward, by that Gomar, because he made the Gomar permanent. He was in on this, y'all. He was so in on this. It stinks so bad. And they continuously and severely retaliated against him until it escalated so much so that the evil grew. And they had to conspire, and they colluded, and they planned it out. And that's why a female called him many times on the day that he went missing. And we're getting information. All of these leaks are about this too. Naming names. We have names. To, you see, I don't think she was successful. That's why he was in uniform. I think he was on duty. And the only way they could get him out of there is in uniform with an order. Whatever. Because he was in uniform. So he's on duty. And we're hearing gunshots and stab wounds and handcuffs, and you wouldn't believe the things that we have had to read about what they did to our son. The reason why there's different dates of finding his remains and also different places where they found his remains is because in their collusion, this is the leaks, y'all. Where are the authorities to confirm this or to say this is fake news? This is just people being mean again. And they can be very mean. They can be very evil. That in the collusion, in the when they brought Richard out in uniform and murdered him, they dismembered him. And different people got different parts. They divided him up. And they did not want another Vanessa Guillen. Richard could not be another Vanessa Guillen. So they decided to dismember him and separate him, divide him up. Was it bags? Was it boxes? Was it pelican cases? I don't know. And then they each buried him or partially buried him or got rid of him in separate places. Not one of the areas has a full body, right? Full remains. I don't know. Where Where is Veronica Escobar? This should outrage her that our military would collude together to cover this up, because not only did they collude together to murder him, but they colluded together to cover this up. And names are being named. August 3rd, 2020. So July 29th is at Shallow Grave in Donna Ana Range in New Mexico. I don't know. I wasn't privy to that information. August 3rd, 2020, human remains were found in the field in Clint, Texas, and were later identified as those of Private First Class Richard Halliday. So in all the paperwork, there was repeats of that. And I found something very interesting, that the field, which didn't make sense to me because it's a little bit deserty, was 7 miles east of Clint. And so when I looked that up, it's Robert's Tank. I don't know. But when I saw 7 miles east of Clint, I went, okay. So that's Robert's Tank. If you put a 7-mile radius around the center of Clint, you go east, it's Robert's Tank. I don't know. There's some other things out there. Human remains are found, September 9th, 2020. So you have July 29th, August 3rd. We don't even know that our son's missing. We are not even in El Paso September 9th, 2020. We're still at home because we don't think that Richard left behind his passport, which he did. He left behind his passport. Okay? But the CID told us that his passport was not in the inventory. Do you remember that? Go back. I talked about it over and over again. So for a long time, we were busy just checking, any kind of ports and airports and ships and different countries and whatever, because we thought the passport wasn't there. So September 9th, while we're doing that, running around with our head chopped off, trying to figure out what happened to our son, because they don't have their information right, or they're lying to us. And I'm telling you, they've lied to us so many times. I have to say, it's not crazy of me to say I think they were just lying to us, to delay us, to fool us, to put that as part of the collusion. But guess what? Rob wanted Richard's things ASAP, and they couldn't get around that. And so as soon as we got there, the day, I don't know, it was just like right when we got there, Rob went and got all of Richard's things. And guess what was there? His passport. His passport. His Christmas tree and Christmas decorations, but his passport too. Okay, October 19th, 2020, human remains were found near kilometer 29 on the highway between Ciudad Juarez and Chihuahua, Mexico, and were later identified as those of Private First Class Richard Halliday. These were also partial remains and in uniform, and there's vehicles involved in this one. There's vehicles involved in this one, and there's also handcuffs involved in this one. I don't know. Where is our law enforcement agencies? I thought that our intelligence agencies and our law enforcement agencies had 6 ways to Sunday. They don't even secure. Listen to this. This is what I woke up thinking. They don't even secure our national interest, our national um, intelligence, right? Our secrets. Like our patents, um, whatever secrets that we have to secure our country, to make our country strong. They don't secure those because a 21-year-old National Guardsman can come and, oh, yeah, there they are. We have boots on the ground in Ukraine. We're not supposed to have boots on the ground in Ukraine fighting Russia. Oh, yeah, that money, that's not going to weapons. I thought our money was supposed to go to weapons. Who's that going to? Some kind of Maserati? Um, you know, he sees that. He's like, cool. I need to show my friends that, we have a government that's, excuse me, but I have to say it's screwing us. That's taking us down the road of suicide. And yet, when it comes to their unbelievable evil crimes, they know how to lockstep and cover it up. Turn it into a secret and secure it with I don't know how many locks. Probably more than 1,000 locks. Firewalls, paywalls. They know how to secure it. And then they lie. I've had some people ask me what Dust One is, and so this is a bullet list. Dust One is a military acronym used to indicate that a service member is missing and there is a possibility that they have been kidnapped or captured. Now, this is CONUS Dust One is Richard's. That's what he's been designated, the first CONUS Dust One missing soldier. CONUS means Continental USA. Okay, so he's not on foreign soil. He is, right at home, and he's Dust One, kidnapped or captured, or what else? Whereabouts unknown. Duty, status, whereabouts unknown. The term is part of the military's personal accounting system. Okay, they have a personal accounting system. Used when a service member's location is unknown for any reason. The Dust One designation is only used after other methods of locating a service member have been exhausted. So this is fraud, waste, and abuse. If they have designated Richard a CONUS Dust One missing soldier under the new absent soldier flow chart, which came about because of Vanessa Guillen. That's why I call it the Vanessa Guillen absent soldier flow chart, because it was her case exposing their dereliction and negligence of their duty that drove them to make some changes. And this was one of the changes. But of course, they just make the changes and then they forget about it and continue with their pretty profitable, I think it's profitable, crimes. And then if anyone gets in a way, then they, they know how to use suicide very handily. And I'm telling you, that when Lieutenant General Sean Bernabe wanted to come and visit us, the reason why we said no is he was coming to visit us to tell us that the Army thinks that Richard committed suicide. It was so ludicrous at that time, and as now, Because now we know, because let me tell you, their silence on this is so telling. Here he knew he was finding pieces and parts of my son, and he wanted to come here and injure us, hurt us, and watch us hurt by his insanity lies, his insane lies. Now that's unbelievably evil. Cold-blooded. So the military has several other codes for missing soldiers, MIA, miscap, missing swept. I don't know what all that means. The use of Dust One designation is rare, but it has been used in high-profile cases like the disappearance of Army Sergeant Bo Bergdahl in Afghanistan in 2009. So they used something rare on Richard. Maybe make it important, like everyone had to know that he, like cover up the big bloody cake with Dust One, CONUS Dust One, the first CONUS Dust One missing. And all the while they're finding our son's body parts and pieces and in uniform. Because can you imagine, this is international and he's on duty and there's a collusion of a big group. I mean, this must be like some Satan worshipers or something like that. Can you imagine them sitting there talking about how we're going to get Richard? Let's get Halliday. And how are we going to get rid of his body parts after we have our way with him? Huh? After we take the life out of him. Can you imagine? Oh, well, I'll take his head. I'll take his legs. I'll take his torso. I mean, this must be a group of Satanists. And our military and you name it, is colluding to get together to cover this up. I was also asked, what is the Distinguished Undergraduate? And so the 434th Field Artillery Brigade at Fort Sill, Oklahoma, Class 39-18 on the 6th of July, 2018. Richard, Distinguished Undergraduate, PV1 Halliday. That's basic training. The soldier who, through performance and evaluation by drill sergeants, is rated as the best in the class. That was Richard. And he made Distinguished Undergraduate for AIT also. And he didn't like children being sexually abused. And he didn't like the leadership not following standard operating procedures. He didn't like rapes happening in the barracks. So in this paperwork, and this is kind of bombshell, it says that Richard reported to the CID. That he reported to the CID and made complaints to the CID that they were not following through on their complaints. He went to the CID. He didn't go to the IG. He went to the CID. Now remember that Richard wanted to be, he was trying to apply for CID. That's, before he even joined, one of the things I was trying to convince him not to join the military, that we would give him $10,000 starting off so that he could go to school to become an investigator, right? A criminal investigator. That's what he wanted to do. And he ended up being in a unit surrounded by criminals, and not all of them, but he was surrounded by criminals. And they weren't following SOP. They were taking advantage of the American people. They were not meeting their obligations to the volunteer soldiers in the barracks. He complained about, this is what the paperwork is saying, and I'm going to post it up. But he was saying that the living conditions were abysmal. He complained about that. He complained about just a lot of things, and I'm going to put it all together because some are in statements here, some are in statements here, and I have to put it together. So he went to the CID, and then, and I don't know if this is right. I'm just telling you what the leaks are saying. The leaks are saying that when he went to the Child Protective Services, he went there, and part of his complaint to the Child Protective Services was that the CID was not doing anything about the crimes being committed in his unit against what's going on, the abuses of the children. Now, that's bombshell to me. And I really want to thank God and he knows who for all these leaks, because they're bombshell. So where is Representative Veronica Escobar, who has a conflict of interest because her husband works with the DOJ, right? He answers to the DOJ, and she's supposed to have oversight over the DOJ. So if he's messing up, she's supposed to have oversight over him through the oversight over the Department of Justice. Where is she? Where is the DA? Where is the AG? Where is the FBI? Where is the Army? Where are these 44 four-star crimes against humanity, bloated, taking advantage of the American taxpayer, four-star generals? Wearing our beautiful uniforms with our beautiful 4 stars, and they are demons. They're absolutely the worst type of criminals, the worst type. So this is the leak we're getting. I put them together. I got that autopsy leak. One of them is one of these. It seems to be. But it might be a fourth one. So far, 4 locations. There might be more locations. I'm going through all the information. And that's what I didn't want to tell you yesterday. But how many autopsies are there? If there's 4 locations, there needs to be 4 autopsies. And right now we have kind of 4 autopsies, but I don't know. And why am I having to confirm all of this? Where is our help? Is $1 trillion not enough for them? Is all their privileges not enough for them? They have to be unbelievable evil criminals on, what kind of thanks is that? What kind of service is that? What kind of loyalty or integrity or duty is that? What is that? So the El Paso County Medical Examiner's Office autopsy report, autopsy number 2020-03515. U.S. Army Criminal Investigative Command autopsy report, autopsy number 200611-002-002. Third one, Mexican Forensic Medical Service autopsy report, autopsy number SEMEFO Chihuahua, case number 414 2020. Where are they? If this is a joke, if this is a mean joke, wow, that's a crime. Isn't that a crime? Okay, so one, El Paso County Medical Examiner's Office Autopsy Report 2020-03515. This is what we got from it. There's more. But this is like a little summary. Body examined, partial human remains, including a right femur, a left half of the pelvis, a left femur bone, a spine with attached ribs, and a skull finding. All bones had a variety of injuries associated with the use of a sharp force, including cuts, stab wounds, and fractures. A gunshot wound was also found near the skull. The condition of the bones suggests that they have already been exposed to the environment for several months, which is interesting because if that is this finding, it couldn't have been Richard's. I'm just telling you what I'm thinking here. If it was Clint, then Clint was in October, right? So July, September, August, September, October, maybe a few months there. Yeah, I don't know. I'd like to know if the U.S. Army. That's all I can read tonight to you because it's just so. That's why I seem a little bit arrogant because I don't know how else to focus this. I don't know how. Okay, so these are points of interest. So I've added like this Roberts tank, which is, if you go in, you can see Clint. There's Clint. If you move 7 over, wasn't hard to do that, Um, this is Clint's Roberts tank. I don't know. It would be nice for someone to care and to tell us. We know this area over here, right in this area here, is another location for dismembered body parts of our son. This area here included some vehicles, which is interesting, and also handcuffs. So that makes me wonder, is somebody in law enforcement that's killing Richard, dismembering him? I know that there has to be someone with some surgical knowledge, right? That of course in this area here. Let's see, no, sorry, I'm wrong. This area. This area here. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Donna Anna, why should I have to find it all, right? Why does Rob and I have to find it all? The other, so that would be the 3 areas. The one area is undisclosed. They but I'm not finished reading through everything. Rob's not finished double checking and crossing out, and you know, because this is a sad fact. There's been so many cases that they could easily manipulate us, right? They could easily manipulate us. And we wouldn't have to go through this if we were, on good, uh, honest, trustworthy terms with Richard's Command. But when you tell us that you're looking for our son and you're conducting a smear campaign on him, when you tell us that you're going to put a task force, find Richard Halliday together, and we find out that there's not an op board, and you're not even in uniform, and there's no task force leader, when we give you a lead about a man that goes into a Dollar General and you come back and tell us that he's just some guy, and he turns out to be the father-in-law of Lieutenant Colonel Bugado in the G3, Richard's Command, the G3 of 32nd ADCOM. And that was the 26th of October. So if you go back to the dates here, you have this date of October 19th. And remember, he was talking about the different locations. He was talking about different locations, and they found him at different locations. And the cashier's like, he lost me there. What do you mean different locations? Well, that's because he was telling us that they cut up our son, divvied him up to bury him in different locations. They planned it out. They colluded because they did not want another Vanessa Guillen. And the FBI and the CID came back to tell us in front of the general, right? In front of the general, that he's just some guy. But we found out. It's the same thing with Hemasocha. Oh, I'll handle this. No, tell us who she is. Oh, she's the wife of Richard's first sergeant. Oh, she has leaks. Who does she know in the CID? Who is she friends with? Does anybody else do business with her? Now, if we were on good terms, if they would have done their duty and been straight with us. I mean, who's making money off of this child porn anyway? Who's into this child porn anyway? Who's raping children? How many of our leadership in uniform are raping children? That they would go to this level to cover up the death of a soldier that wasn't okay with it. Because let's say half of this is not true. You still have the other half. This is a very wrongful death suit. And I'm very grateful for Judge Javier Rodriguez. We need to pray for him because we have some demons out there. And we're just very grateful that Sutherland Springs, that they won that case against the Air Force. And I'm not happy about the Army being in this kind of condition, or the Air Force being in its condition, because they give out all kinds of secret. They they were just caught giving out people that they don't like. They give out information, and put them in harm's way in the crosshairs. Yeah, I'm not happy about that. We need to retrench, y'all. Okay, if you have any questions, I'll be glad to answer them. Comments. Thank you, Anicia. Frame froze. I know. Froze, but we can hear you. Okay, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Can you see? But you can see what I'm sharing, right? And then this is the t-shirts. There's gray, there's red. We also have the Army one. I don't have that one up. Yeah. Yeah. Where's Richard? Yeah. Thank you. So I'm going to keep looking, keep exposing everything, which puts me and, our whole family in harm's way. And this is where the DA, Bill Hicks, should help us. They get protection, they get security. We pay for high security in the buildings that they work in. Even their cars have security and are protected. And, and his job, Bill Hicks's job, is to reach out to us. We have sent letters. It's silence. It's silence. Silence cries guilty. You're guilty, who stole that cookie? Not me. Did you do it? Okay, so I don't know. It's it's not a joke. But we need you. That's what I'm saying. We need you to share. We need you to write letters. We really do. Media representatives, because they ignore us. They don't even answer our FOIA over 2 years. Because that FOIA, now we're finding out that he was complaining to the CPS about the children rape, but also because the CID, that he went to the CID, Richard went to the CID to tell him about the CID, didn't do anything. And who was in charge of his case? Special Agent Tavita Nusa. So is he part of all this? I mean, we know that he leaked. We know he was helping Leilani Hart. But y'all, there's something more. And pray that through all the paperwork that we're going through right now, that we'll find it. But this should be the FBI finding it. This should be our intelligence agency finding this. And they already have it. They already have it. And they've covered it up, and they've secured it, and they've locked it away. Their crimes, they make sure that they lock it, that they secure it. But our national intelligence, our most precious documents and information, they are so careless with that a young 21-year-old National Guardsman, and they're going to make an example out of him, right? is going, "Hey, look at all this. Hey, Discord, look at buddies on my Discord, my gaming site. Look what I found." I think the death penalty needs to be right there in the middle of the table, up for discussion, because um, this is unbelievably evil crimes and very, very wrongful death of not only Richard, but of so many. So many. Okay, everyone. Thank you so much. God bless you. And I will see you tomorrow. Uh, make sure I thank you. I will see you tomorrow, God willing. Bye bye.